Guys, and we're back again, guys. Donald Trump has officially made a celebration remark regarding Jimmy Kimmel losing his show. According to Donald Trump, the horribly rated show, the Jimmy Kimmel Show, is finally off air. Donald Trump shows his remarks, and obviously, from what you're about to see, is praising Jimmy Kimmel's loss from his show. Donald Trump is happy about what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. Okay? Right here, 47 minutes ago, Donald Trump is celebrating what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. Earlier, we got into what happened when Jimmy Kimmel made the remarks about Charlie Kirk and all the remarks he's been making about Donald Trump. Now let's see, because a lot of people are feeling like Donald Trump is the reason why his show has got gone, and Donald Trump is retaliating against him and attacking his freedom of speech. Do you believe that? How do you feel?
President Trump, who is staying behind me for the final night of his state visit with the royal family here at Windsor Castle, is celebrating after ABC announced that it is taking Jimmy Kimmel's late night show off the air indefinitely following criticism over comments that he made in the days after Charlie Kirk's murder. The president declared victory basically tonight, writing on Truth Social that this is, quote, great news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel's show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. Now, before we go any further about the major questions that have been raised by this decision tonight, I want you to listen to Jimmy Kimmel in his own words during his monologue on Monday night.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk.
So if you're new to this situation, guys, Jimmy Kimmel's show, let's pause this for a second. So if you're new for this show, guys, Jimmy Kimmel has been under attack ever since he said something negative about the life of Charlie Kirk. Basically, he insinuated that Charles Kirk was one of the people a part of MAGA. He basically insinuates that MAGA is using Charlie Kirk's passing as a way to make themselves look good to the people. They're using him as a political win or political stunt.
Finger pointing. There was grieving on Friday. The White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
Somebody else is out along with your friend Charlie Kirk. I asked sir personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
Not Donald Trump. If you're saying that you're grieving your friend, why are you talking about stuff that's going on with the White House? This man said, ask you how you holding up. He said, you can see the construction in the back. They're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this. And if you can hear on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, people are laughing. So basically, he's trying to say, Donald Trump didn't care about no Charlie Kirk. They're just using this as propaganda in some type of way to make themselves look good in the political eyes of the people. Donald Trump doesn't care about Charlie Kirk. This is basically what he's saying. But he also insinuated that the person who off Charlie Kirk was actually MAGA. So that's what they're saying they used to get him pulled off of the network. They're basically saying that Nextstar, or the Trump-aligned FCC, as the NBC anchors called them, went behind Jimmy Kimmel's back and talked to a lot of other broadcasters who are actually in collaboration with ABC, the company that Jimmy Kimmel's show was signed to. And basically those companies were saying that they were disgusted by the remarks that he made about someone who had just passed that were closely aligned with Donald Trump, and that he would have to pay for it. So basically they told them that they were not going to play his channel anymore. And so
Welcome to David Buster.
So when they said that, ABC just agreed that they would all together just go ahead and take the show down. So right now we are watching them speak about Donald Trump's reaction to everything that happened. So pay attention, guys.
President Trump, who is staying behind me for the final night of his state visit with the royal family here at Windsor Castle, is celebrating after ABC announced that it is taking Jimmy Kimmel's late night show off the air indefinitely following criticism over comments that he made in the days after Charlie Kirk's murder. The president declared victory basically tonight, writing on Truth Social that this is, quote, great news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel's show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. Now, before we go any further about the major questions that have been raised by this decision tonight,
thank you for finally having the courage. Donald Trump is praising this in. Thank you for finally having the courage.
I want you to listen to Jimmy Kimmel in his own words.
This is what Jimmy Kimmel said.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But
how do you feel about what he said, guys? And make sure y'all like the live. How do y'all feel? A lot of people in the general public feel that freedom of speech is under attack now. They feel that you can't say what you want to say. They feel like this is wrong because Charlie Kirk was allowed to say whatever he wants to say. But Jimmy Kimmel is being attacked because not only did he mess with somebody that's aligned with Trump, but he's also been making disrespectful remarks as far as Trump and the Trump administration, as far as what they've done so far while they're in office as well. So people feel like it's Trump and his cabinet that are attacking Jimmy Kimmel. How do you all feel? How does it make you feel that the President of the United States is tweeting and typing certain things on his own network, Truth Social Media, in regards to Jimmy Kimmel, guys? I don't feel like Jimmy Kimmel should have been taken off, but I also feel like the mockery of deceased people, even when Charlie Kirk did it to George Floyd, I think it's wrong. And I think what Jimmy Kimmel, insinuated was kind of disrespectful. But do I think that it should warrant his channel, his entire show to be taken off the network? No, I don't. Because Jimmy Kimmel has been on there for 22 years. 22 years. Listen to this. Alexa, when was the Jimmy Kimmel show started?
The new episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live is on ABC National Feed.
Alexa, how long has Jimmy Kimmel been on air?
Jimmy Kimmel Live has been on since 2003. Over the course of the show, there have been over 4,000 episodes. The next episode...
Stop. 4,000 episodes. Almost 22 years. Almost 22 years. 4,000 episodes. And they just can say bye-bye like that to you. I would hate to be famous. That's a very scary place. Somebody in my chat earlier said, when we were discussing, if you're new to the live, guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Trey. This is Trey John TV, and right now we're discussing the controversial topic of Donald Trump celebrating Jimmy Kimmel losing his show, as he calls it, an underrated show, even lower than Cohen, if that's possible. He says that he's spreading fake news and he's happy that the show is gone. So Donald Trump is basically showing that he wanted the show gone as well, that he pushed to have the show taken down. And basically the FCC, who controls what people can put out on TV, said that the thing was distasteful, so they pushed to have it taken down as well. How do you all feel about this? How do you feel about this? Do you think it's wrong for the President of the United States to be involved in all of this types of stuff? Do you think he has better things to do and to deal with than to sit up and bother and argue with Jimmy Kimmel? Or do you think Jimmy Kimmel got what he deserved? How do y'all feel? Y'all know I gotta drink me an orange soda. Make sure y'all like the live. This is crazy, guys. We're gonna watch something else about Donald Trump celebrating the victory of Jimmy Kimmel. Bernie Sanders had something to say about Jimmy
Today we
Kimmel.
heard from the former director of the
Let's see what-
CDC for the first time since she was fired just 29 days after being confirmed by the Senate. Susan Menarez, who was chosen and nominated by Donald Trump, testified before the Senate Health Committee about how she was fired for, quote, holding the line on scientific integrity. Telling senators about the meeting with Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Make sure y'all like
that
the line.
ultimately led to her dismissal.
On the morning of August 25th, the Secretary Kennedy demanded two things of me that were inconsistent with my oath of office and the ethics required of a public official. He directed
Number one was the ferocity.
Who, sort of hemmed and hawed and reluctantly voted for Kennedy, even though he's a doctor. That Ms. Menarez was, or Dr. Menarez, its ownership and the threats that could pose.
You better get rid of them. So this is just another step forward. And we have got to, some of us are working really hard to rally the American people not only against this authoritarianism, but this war against the working class, the massive tax breaks for the rich, the cuts in Medicaid. People should be aware that as a result of this Trump's big, beautiful bill, your health care premiums, whether you're Republican or a Democrat, whatever, independent, could go up by 75% because they're taking away the credits for the ACA. So, we got some crises. We're trying to rally the American people against oligarchy, against authoritarianism, against the war on the world.
He didn't say much.
President Trump, who is staying behind me for the final night of his state visit.
When you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmy Kimmel, it appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. As you indicated, there are avenues here for the FCC, so there are some ways in which I need to be a little bit careful, because it could be called locally to be a judge on some of these claims that come up. Look, there's calls for Kimmel being fired. I think, you can certainly see a path forward for suspension over this. And again, the FCC is going to have remedies that we can look at.
Like what Jimmy Kimmel said or not, find it tasteful or distasteful, that is the FCC chair saying there, in the wake of that there are remedies that the FCC could look at. One thing that's important to note here as we look at this is how Kimmel's departure from the airwaves has been a goal of President Trump's for quite some time, long before the comments that he made about Charlie Kirk and how Trump was responding
Did you hear her?
to his death.
This was Trump's plan, according to her.
Off the air. On July 20.
So according to her, this was already Trump's plan. Trump was already trying to get Jimmy Kimmel off air. So he basically just was successful this time. This is something that Trump had been trying to do, guys. This is nothing new. Trump been trying to do this, and he just was finally successful this time. According to the video, y'all. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention.
9th, this is what he wrote after CBS announced it was canceled.
So he said, everybody is saying that I was solely responsible for the firing of something, something, something. And it's going to be worse. Next up will be the even less talented Jimmy Kimmel and then a weak, very insecure Jimmy Fallon. The only real question, who will go first? Showbiz and television is very simple business. If you get ratings, you can say or do anything. If you don't, you'll always become the victim. Colbert became a victim to himself. The other two will
Like
follow.
Stephen Colbert's late night show, the president said he believes that Jimmy Kimmel would be next. And he said this from the
He
White
said that they
House
would be
just
next,
hours.
and now they're next. He actually got them out of here.
Colbert has no talent. And I could take anybody here, I could go outside to the beautiful streets and pick up a couple of people that do just as well or better. They get higher ratings than he did. He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going.
Trump said he heard that they are going.
And now they're gone. Do y'all feel like the president should be able to have that pull to get people fired from their jobs? Or do y'all think this is an over push? How do y'all feel about Donald Trump celebrating Jimmy Kimmel losing his show? I think it's wrong, guys. I think it's wrong. And although I feel like Jimmy Kimmel should have been punished in some way for what he said about Charlie Kirk, I don't necessarily feel he should lose his entire show. And lose everything, guys. I think that is so wrong, guys. I think that is so wrong. They should have never took this entire show. I think that is so wrong. And if you don't, something is wrong. Something is truly wrong with you. Because they didn't have to take everything from the man. Yeah, maybe they do have something federal. Alexa, why did the FCC take Jimmy Kimmel's show?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Alexa, what happened to Jimmy Kimmel today?
Here is what I found.
Alexa, what happened to Jimmy Kimmel today?
Here is what I found. From nydailynews.com. Late night host Jimmy Kimmel was involved in a car accident Thursday in Hollywood.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, what did Donald Trump say about Jimmy Kimmel? Alexa, what did Donald Trump say about Jimmy Kimmel? Alexa, what is going on with Donald Trump and Jimmy Kimmel?
I wasn't able to understand the question I heard.
Alexa, is Jimmy Kimmel's show suspended?
From thedailybeast.com. ABC has indefinitely pulled Jimmy Kimmel's late night show off the air following his comments on Charlie Kirk.
Alexa, what did Jimmy Kimmel say about Charlie Kirk?
On September 17, 2025, Reuters reported, Walt Disney-owned ABC said on Wednesday it will indefinitely stop airing Jimmy Kimmel Live after remarks the late-night host made about Charlie Kirk's assassination came under harsh criticism from the head of the Federal Communications Commission.
Alexa, tell me more.
That's all I have on that.
Child, that's all she got on that. Y'all, this is a lot. This is a lot, y'all. I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that happened. Wow. Jimmy Kimmel's show has been indefinitely suspended. Donald Trump is celebrating it as we just watched, y'all. The world is actually in a strange place right now. And I don't know. But I honestly think, too, Jimmy Kimmel probably should have picked his battles a little wisely and maybe should have did a little bit more research on the people that he was working for. Because another thing, too, did Jimmy Kimmel's team not know that what he would say that night? Did they not know? Is his show not scripted? Does he just come off the head and just come in and just say anything? Because if they knew what he said, wouldn't they know that would be something that would get the show canceled? So did they sabotage him? Did they set him up? Did they send insiders from the Trump team to come work on Jimmy Kimmel's team that got him set up? What happened? I really want to know what happened. Like, it just don't make sense to me because Jimmy Kimmel has been saying like some nasty things about Donald Trump for a very long time. So that's meaning Donald Trump was already trying to find reasons to get his show off, as you just seen too on the news reporting. She just said that Donald Trump had been trying to get the show off of there. We will rewatch it. We will rewatch it. We're not gonna watch that ad. We're gonna rewatch what she said about basically Donald Trump has been trying to get Jimmy Kimmel's show off the air for a very long time. And then Jimmy Fallon.
President Trump, who is staying behind me for the final night of his state visit with the royal family here at Windsor Castle, is celebrating after ABC announced that it is taking Jimmy Kimmel's late night show off the air indefinitely following criticism over comments that he made in the days after Charlie Kirk's murder. The president declared victory basically tonight, writing on Truth Social that this is, quote, great news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel's show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. Now, before we go any further about the
as you heard right there, Donald Trump already had said this months ago that Jimmy Kimmel was going to be next. Jimmy Kimmel never let up. Jimmy Kimmel continued to share the way he felt about Donald Trump and the way he felt about anything throughout the entire season, knowing that Donald Trump already had an agenda out to get him. So let's just keep it 100. I respect him for putting his foot down and sticking to what he thought and believed. But what I'm going back to is hey, Joe Rogers, how are you? Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Whilst I pee. Like the live too before you leave. So, y'all don't think that these people knew what Jimmy Kimmel was going to say? Y'all know they don't just get to go on TV and say anything. Don't y'all know these people go through the scripts and all of that? It's no way that they're going to allow Jimmy Kimmel to just come up with anything and just say that on national TV. So, I'm asking again, do y'all honestly think that Jimmy Kimmel's team did not know that what he was going to say would affect his career? Or did they already know? Did they already know? Did they already know? Because this is strange to me. How he was able to get his show canceled by just having a freedom of speech. You can't have freedom of speech on TV though. Like one of my people in the chat made a great thing. They said the difference between Charlie Kirk and Jimmy Kimmel was Charlie Kirk didn't work for anybody, because basically the people are making a comparison saying that Charlie Kirk said even worse things than what Jimmy Kimmel was saying. Charlie Kirk talked about George Floyd in such a bad way that he made a girl cry in a video. He talked about him in such a bad way. He called him a scumbag. Literally. So yeah, how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like he got what he deserved? Or do y'all feel like he need to get his show back? I don't know what to think. How do y'all feel? We just watched it right there, y'all. You can rewind the live a little bit. Get hooked up and hush. Get off of here. Donald Trump is celebrating, as he says it's a victory. He's celebrating Jimmy Kimmel losing his show. He's happy. Jimmy Kimmel made fun of Donald Trump because when asked how he felt about the loss of his friend Charles Kirk, Donald Trump, instead of saying he missed him or anything, he went right into talking about other stuff that he had going on. If you can see right behind us, we have construction of this and construction of that. So he basically was trying to make Donald Trump look like a fool. And he said that the person who did what they did to Charlie Kirk was a MAGA supporter. Which is a spread of false information, as they said. So, hey, things are not looking too good for Jimmy Kimmel, guys. But the general public is mad. They're feeling that the First Amendment is under attack. You can't say what you want to say. And that the First Amendment is only valid to certain people. And that's only people aligned with Donald Trump. If you're not aligned with Donald Trump, you can't say the truth. You can't speak your mind. And you can't go against their sayings. And this is not what I feel. This is what the general public is saying. There's a large discourse going on right now on social medias, in the comment sections of different blog pages, in the comment sections of all of the news broadcasters that I just showed you. Lots of people stating that they feel like freedom of speech is under attack and that you cannot say what you feel. How do you all feel, guys? Can you turn that water off? I'll finish it. Thank you. How do you all feel? Sorry, y'all. That's my boyfriend. We in the kitchen. Well, I live in a studio apartment, so it's going to be loud. Everything's right here. There he go. Y'all see him? And he just rinsing away. Make sure y'all like the live, guys. Donald Trump has done it again, guys. This is actually like very, very strange to me. They're asking right here now, do you believe in free speech?
You have a right to say what you want.
But not going to play. Here's the reason I want to play this, okay? because I think we're willfully ignoring the threat, which was explicit. It wasn't implicit, it was explicit. Listen to what he actually said.
They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen, but frankly, when we see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct and take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
It'd be a shame what happened to your nice network. It'd be a shame what happened to your nice show.
That's a threat.
Well, and not only that, but then Donald Trump took to Truth Social and then said further, that leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also terrible. Do it, NBC.
I mean, it will never end, but, just worth noting, just a couple years ago, back in 2019, Brandon Carr, he tweeted this on a different topic. Should the government censor speech it doesn't like? Of course not. The FCC does not have a roving mandate to police speech in the name of the public interest. And yet, he is doing exactly that today. Where does this end? Where does this end in your mind? You are fully comfortable with the government saying, if you don't do this, if you don't get this person off the air who said something that was wrong or that you did not like, we are going to drop the hammer on you.
No,
You're good with that?
No, I didn't like it when the Biden administration worked with big tech.
How do y'all feel? My people, we're going to get back to this video, but how do you feel? Do you feel like the First Amendment is under attack? Do you feel like you should be able to say what you want to say? Or do you feel like Donald Trump is wrong and that they should leave Jimmy Kimmel alone? And that Jimmy Kimmel's show should be restored? And that the FCC should not operate with the president, but operate in the best interest of the American people? Or do you feel like they are operating in the best interest of the American people and you feel like Jimmy Kimmel was wrong for what he said and he deserves to be pushed off of the network? Do you feel like what Jimmy Kimmel said was so bad, so horrible that it made you feel disgusting to your stomach? FCC said they were disgusted by Jimmy Kimmel's comments and that they were, that they just felt bad about it. They were disgusted and they felt like his show needed to be gone. But if you can see here, Donald Trump had already been planning to get his show kicked off of there. How do we feel, guys? Make sure you like the live and subscribe to the channel.
Not the things. I'm saying right now, if NBC comes up and says we were forced to do this, we don't want to do this, I think this is part of a larger business decision on their part. It goes back to what Scott said before about your feelings.
ABC.
This is a failing industry in terms of late night television. This is their excuse. This is their reason.
You said you're going to boycott it. Jimbo Richmond says, let's boycott ABC. We're not going to watch ABC. That is from Jimbo Richmond, guys. Jimbo Richmond right there says, let's boycott ABC. We're going to pin that. He said, let's boycott it. What else do we feel, guys? Let us know in the comments. Please like the live, guys.
People like you and others would point that direction instead of focusing on
You see an ethical consideration for Carr, a conflict of interest for Carr, some sense of his position as a government official to make that kind of threat.
When is the FCC an attack dog for any political party?
Well, it had been against Howard Stern. It has been.
Thank you for putting that in the chat, Jimbo Richmond. So ABC's parent company, Disney, works along Nextstar, which is a broadcaster. They have many different companies that broadcast different shows for Disney. And basically, Nextstar is the first person to pull the plug on the Jimmy Kimmel show, which caused a lot of other affiliates to not feel comfortable working with Jimmy Kimmel either, which started a domino effect. And everybody basically said that, hey, we're not going to broadcast the show. So Disney and ABC are like, well, if we don't have anybody to broadcast the show, we have no choice but to let you go because we can't spend money on you if we can't make any from you. So all the people in the public now are upset because they're saying let's boycott ABC because they feel like that's wrong. They feel like they set Jimmy Kimmel up because they should have his back. Jimmy Kimmel has been on that channel for 22 years. Already canceled Disney's and Hulu, won't subscribe to anything else. Got you guys. Anything Comcast they are not subscribing to now, guys. We just watched right here on this live where these people are talking about the things that are happening.
There is a slice out of our First Amendment for broadcast, which I think is wrong. And it's based on wrong decisions years and years ago about precious airwaves and about going into the home and so on.
I guess we're only watching PBS, guys.
We believe in the First Amendment. And
Now we have this fascinating thing happening on the right, where you have Ted Cruz defending hate speech.
According to Kit Kat, we're only watching
Where
PBS.
is free speech with your question? I mean, where is free speech here then? Where is that line? How do we know where that line is now?
Well, I think it's similar to the debate we've had between.
Do you feel the freedom of speech is under attack, guys? Please make sure you like the live. You don't have to send us anything, but it's free to like the live. I really appreciate when you like the live, guys. You don't have to send us anything, but please like the live.
Not just in this instance, but so many others we've documented.
You don't have to send us nothing. But if you do, you want to, you can send us a super chat, or you can donate to one of our parties up here.
Take Brian Joby off the air for what he said about
I think in all those cases they have a right to do that. When they should. I'm asking your judgment. You're not a critic before. You're a critic now. Do you think Fox should fire Brian Joby? I said they have a right to. In each of these cases, you think they should. I tell you they have a right to. That's
But you're also, you continue to talk about how it's a business decision, but the reality is that whether it is a threat, whether it is Donald Trump also threatening to go after organizations just because they have different views than him.
So, Jalen Bradley, let's pull up Jalen Bradley's comment right here, guys. Let's all read it together. Jalen Bradley said, you can't go on live TV and spread lies, and the show is not making a profit. It was long overdue for a cancellation. Alexa, what are the ratings for Jimmy Kimmel's show in 2024?
From HollywoodReporter.com. The Jimmy Kimmel hosted telecast on ABC averaged 19.5 million viewers, according to time zone adjusted fast national ratings from Nielsen.
Alexa, what is considered good ratings for television?
From Quora.com. Mid-90s to the 100 range is generally considered a good rating.
Alexa, what is the net profit for Jimmy Kimmel's show in 2024?
From CelebrityNetworth.com. In 2024, he sold 293,000 tickets to a total of 53 shows for a gross of $36.5 million.
What? Jalen, so Kit Kat wants to know. He says, no, money I spend for Disney and Hulu is now to PBS, or I support one or more of the streamers I follow. Ask the net profit. And Jalen, where were the lies? Be specific, please. You said, I just witnessed the passing of NBC, CBS, and NBC. What do you mean by that, Vincent? Could you elaborate a little bit more? Could you elaborate a little bit more? How are you doing? Hi, how's it going, Vincent?
Government that is using their power in order to silence the media and people that disagree with them. And
do y'all feel like the federal government is using their power to silence people in the media? Do y'all feel like Donald Trump and his cabinet are using their powers to silence the media and make everybody think and listen to them and do everything that they say and only want media to put out the things that make them look good in their life? Do you feel like that? Because Jimmy Kimmel have a long rap sheet of talking crap about Donald Trump because he did not like Donald Trump. Of course, that's what Kit Kat feels, guys. Kit Kat feels that. Okay, let's keep listening.
So there was some reporting tonight that Kimmel was going to address this on his show tonight, but rather than allow this company to handle this the way that maybe they saw fit, maybe he might have apologized. They decided to go this route, and I have to believe, I guess, because it's in part because Trump. You read one of the tweets, but here's what he said on August 6th after Colbert was taken off the air or his show was canceled. Here's what he said in terms of his order of operations here. Let's play the soundbite for Trump.
Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon.
Ooh, make sure y'all like the live, guys. Donald Trump said that they're all going to be gone. And look, he's gone. Oh my God, that is so wrong. That is so wrong. That is so wrong. But I still think Jimmy Kimmel should have played it a little safe. If he didn't do any research to know about all of the companies his company was affiliated with, it's his own fault. He caused it to his own self. You know what I'm saying? I do respect him I respect Jimmy Kimmel. And the reason why I say I respect Jimmy Kimmel is because he continued to have the same view throughout the entire duration of his time on that channel. He did not be afraid of anybody. He continued to, whatever he felt like saying, he said it. So you have to commend somebody like that. He's not changing his view for anybody. He stands on that. There's no right or wrong in this situation. There's just one who's more powerful than the other. I'm sorry. That's how I see it. You said, I wonder what Colbert is going to say on now. I think Colbert is going to play it cool, and I think everybody's going to now be afraid. That's exactly what Donald Trump wanted. I think everybody is going to be afraid. I don't know. I don't know. Yes. I don't know.
And let's pretend that Donald Trump is not the president. Let's pretend that it's somebody else.
Play. Give it a second, y'all. Make sure you like the live. Can y'all help me get to 40 likes? Hold on. Where we at on this video? We right there. I'm gonna come back to it. He's probably gonna play an ad. He's probably finna pay an ad.
You strive for right to work for whoever you want to.
I'm trying to go right back to the part where we left off at. This fucking y'all know I got Spectrum. Spectrum.
Ourselves in this moment is if you took the partisanship out of it right now, would you be comfortable with the President of the United States saying to any
Come on,
private
Spectrum.
corporation, television network, cable broadcast, that this is how
Come on, Spectrum. You could do it. You can do it. Come on. Best Wi-Fi in the world.
their TV in terms of who is on and who is not?
I don't have a problem with the president expressing an opinion about people who express opinions about him. And
Okay. He pause it. He makes a great point. Jimmy Kimmel sits up on his show all day and say negative things about Donald Trump. He makes a great point. Why can't the president say something? He's a normal person too. Donald Trump has always been very opinionated on things he felt a certain type of way about. Why can't he say how he feels about Jimmy Kimmel's show being crushed if... Thank you so much, Vincent. Why can't he say that about Jimmy Kimmel if Jimmy Kimmel always says nasty stuff about him? Is it fair game? Is it fair game, or is he only being destroyed because he's the president of the United States? So people are saying, oh, Donald Trump can't do this. And because people already don't like the president of the United States, a lot of people are against him because of a lot of other things that he have. Do y'all feel like they just don't want to see his point of view and just want to count him out and say he's wrong for how he's handling the situation? How do you feel about that? That's what this man feels. Is he wrong for feeling that way? Or does the president allow to have feelings too, guys? We have two different ways that we can look at this. We can feel bad for Jimmy Kimmel. Some people can feel bad for Donald Trump as well. So who do you feel is more right in the situation, in your feelings? Who do y'all feel is in the right
the president
direction?
expressing an opinion about people who express opinions about him. And regarding Kimmel, whether he was going to address it or not, I read that he was going to address it, but he wasn't going to apologize, which I am sure was going to make Sinclair and Nextstar go crazy.
But what about Trump using the government to enforce it? Because it's not just his words. He is also using the government to enforce his words.
Well, it is your opinion that they were threatening them. It is my opinion that they had a larger decision to make regarding their business interests.
Twice now. It is not my opinion that Brendan Carr said, you can either do this or I will do that. That's what he said. That's not my opinion. That's a fact.
Look, my view is all these companies have business decisions to make that are based on more than just what a singular person said in an interview. They've got affiliates to deal with. They've got advertisers to deal with. I promise you that when Jimmy
So, okay, so to his defense, sometimes even on YouTube, if you post a certain video, especially when you're monetized, guys, if you post a certain videos and you want to run ads on your videos, but if you're doing like a lot of cursing or talking about hateful material or spreading hate, doxing people, or just producing like all types of wild content, it is hard for them to market your video. It's hard for them to get advertisers to want to even deal with it. So this man is basically saying that it had nothing to do with Donald Trump people or anything. Basically, Disney had no Disney and ABC had no choice but to pull Jimmy Kimmel's platform down, whatever he had going on, because these people didn't want to work with him anymore. He wasn't going to be able to make them no money no more. So he was messing up something that they had going on, basically. So do y'all feel like that's the truth, or do y'all feel like this is just something that they made up? Because I look at it like, now that he's putting in that perspective, that makes a lot of sense too, because YouTube even does that. If you post any certain type of content that they feel like goes against the guidelines, why would they promote it? They're not going to promote it. So they feel like...
Bring the FCC into it.
Well, look, he gave an interview. I can't tell you that if I were the head of the FCC, I would have given that interview. It sounded a little over the top to me, but I still believe that what's going on here has more to do with their business than it does with the government.
Then why don't you guys announce it? That's the thing. Why won't you say what the FCC, what they did is wrong? I think that's the problem. It was a threat from the administration, and I understand the business dealing 100%. Just like the first ABC settlement, I truly believe that they were looking at it. It was a business deal. There was a business decision there, and that's why they moved forward with that. But when it comes to an actual threat from the federal government, that's wrong. It is wrong for our government to threaten these organizations when they have the power to approve murder.
So she feels like it's Donald Trump can say whatever he wants to say, but she feels like Donald Trump directly put the FCC upon, you said dunk Trump before he dunked you. She feels like Donald Trump directly put the FCC on Jimmy Kimmel's show by using his presidential powers. And she felt like that's wrong. Like, you can talk about him on your Truth social media and say whatever you want to say about Jimmy Kimmel, but it's wrong for you to be able to use your powers to get this man's show taken. And that's an abuse of presidential powers. How do y'all feel about that? It's so many different ways you can put this, guys. It's so many different ways you can put this. So some people feel like Jimmy Kimmel's show should be gone. They feel like Jimmy Kimmel has always talked crap, and Jimmy Kimmel's show did have low ratings, and that Jimmy Kimmel was about to be canceled anyways. Some people feel like it wasn't that serious. Some people feel like Donald Trump and his team over-abused their presidential powers and got this man's show canceled. And other people feel like, no, neither Donald Trump or Jimmy Kimmel had any control over this, because once Jimmy Kimmel made that statement, he messed it up for himself, and that Donald Trump didn't have to use his power. Jimmy Kimmel basically created tension between his companies that were affiliates, basically Disney and Apple, excuse me, you ain't even in this. I don't know why you kept it straight. Give me my dollar back too that you took the other day, month. Give my money back, Apple. Always taking people's last dollar. But Disney and ABC was basically losing their partnership with Nextstar, which is the broadcaster service that puts the TV shows out so that we can see them when we get on the cable or whatever. So they didn't want Jimmy Kimmel on their stuff no more. So what was ABC and Disney going to do? And a lot of people feel like that was just a business deal from advertising. They was going to be able to advertise his show because those advertisers wasn't suitable for nobody no more. He taking it too far. And he's already done this too much. It was only so much that they could take. And Donald Trump is basically saying he had low ratings anyway. When you got low ratings, you can't do what you want to say and say what you want to say. But when you got high ratings, you can do whatever you want to do. Come on, Spectrum. You can do it. I got the best Wi-Fi in the world. Come on. You can do it. You said the FCC is funded by Americans. We all fund what we do, what we don't like. Wow. Spray Away Cleaner says the FCC is funded by Americans. Alexa, who is the FCC funded by?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Alexa, who pays the FCC?
To approve murder.
LA Galaxy and Cincinnati will face off at Dignity Health
Alexa,
Sports.
what is the FCC?
According to Wikipedia, the Federal Communications Commission is an independent agency of the United States government that regulates communications by radio, television, wire, internet, Wi-Fi, satellite, and cable across the United States.
And just bring in Carr's interview. All the time the president criticizes media outlets who did go out and continue to do.
Is the FCC tax funded?
I don't know that one.
Of course you don't. She said, I don't know that one. I bet you don't. Wow, y'all. Wow. Everybody talking about Jimmy Neutron. I'm talking about Jimmy Neutron. I meant to say Jimmy Kimmel. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to play with his talk. I swear I'm not trying to play with Jimmy Kimmel, y'all. I call this man Jimmy Neutron. Come on, Wi-Fi. You can do it. You can do it, Wi-Fi. You on your own data? You on your own data? Or you on Wi-Fi?
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can.
You said ask Google who funds the FCC? Can you
Can
unlock this laptop, Jalen? So I can ask Google who funds the FCC?
Got some criticism, but on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
Dr. Colton, on the block of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir? Firstly, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir? I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They just started construction of the new memorial to the White House. They've been trying to get us for about 100.
He tried to make our president look bad.
50 years, and it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
I'm finna look that up for you. I'm finna ask Google who funds the FCC. I'm finna ask Google who funds the FCC. I got you. Jimmy Kimmel is gone, y'all. 22 years on air. After 22 years on air, they fired Jimmy Kimmel. Who funds the FCC? No more Jimmy Kimmel, guys. How do y'all feel? Did Jimmy Kimmel deserve it? Was it already coming for Jimmy Kimmel? The FCC is funded through the regulatory fees collected from the industries it oversees, such as telecommunication companies, rather than through traditional congressional appropriations from taxpayers. We don't pay for this. It says we don't pay for it. It comes from the TV shows and stuff. Regulatory fees. These fees are collected from entitles like license holders and other businesses under the FCC jurisdiction, and specially authorized by Section 9 of the Communications Act of 1934. Annual adjustment. The FCC reviews and adjusts these fees each year to ensure the amount collected matches the agency's budget authority for the fiscal year, offsetting collections. In essence, the FCC uses these collected fees to cover its own operating expenses, which includes licensing, enforcement, inspection, management. While Congressional appropriates the funding for the FCC, the funding is then offset by the collection of regulatory. Let's look it up. COVID-19. They got $249 million in additional funds for COVID-19. Oh. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm looking up, y'all. So what are we feeling, y'all? What are we feeling? Let me know. Let me know what we feeling. How do we feel this situation should have been handled? Do y'all feel like Jimmy Kimmel should have got his show taken down? Do y'all feel like Donald Trump basically just proved that he is behind getting Jimmy Kimmel right now, that he used his presidential stuff to do it? How do y'all feel? Wow. This was a great live. We dived into a lot about what happened with Donald Trump. This live is going to be up for you to watch later. I think this pretty much concludes everything. Donald Trump basically says victory. Thank God. Glad somebody had the courage. We've had a couple people come in here and share their thoughts and their feelings about what they feel should have happened. Some people agree with it, some people disagree with it. But what we all do know is the facts of the facts are that Donald Trump did come on live and celebrate Jimmy Kimmel's downfall and basically said that a couple months ago anyways had already said that Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, or whatever that dude's name is, Fallon was going to be next anyways. So he's happy. People are thinking that Trump used his presidential powers to get the man's show taken down and that that's wrong. He shouldn't be able to do that. Just because he's the president doesn't mean that he should have powers to stop people from saying what they feel. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Hopefully his family is able to, grieve in peace. Hopefully they're happy. Hopefully they're okay. Hopefully they're safe. God bless them. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't think that man deserved that, regardless of what he said to people. How I feel about Jimmy Kimmel losing his show, honestly, business is business. If it would have been me, I would have lost my show too. Business is business. I can't tell nobody how to run their corporation. People are saying that, oh, well, Charlie Kirk was saying whatever he wanted to say. Charlie Kirk worked for his own business. That was the difference. Charlie Kirk didn't work for nobody. Jimmy Kimmel works for a big company. So if that's what these people saying, that's what these people saying. I think that if he wants to continue his legacy, just make a podcast. People will come listen to you. He could come right over here to YouTube and I think he'll do well. That's what I feel. I feel like Jimmy Kimmel should come right over here to YouTube and start his journey here. Right now. He should start right now too. Don't wait. Start right now and build up from over here. And then you won't have to worry about no little companies trying to take what they gave to you or try to make you look like you need them. I know that's devastating to work so hard for that. Jimmy Kimmel has been doing that show since 2003, according to Alexa. Alexa, how long has the Jimmy Kimmel show been on TV?
Jimmy Kimmel Live has been on since 2003. Over the course of the show, there have been over 4,000 episodes. The next episode...
Alexa, stop. That's crazy. Since 2003. And it's 2025 and Jimmy Kimmel is now ended. Look, it's just Wendy Williams, not Jimmy Kimmel. Who's next? Who's next? Yo, Hip Hop Harry. Who's next? This is crazy. So many things are changing up now. Times are a lot different, guys. Times are a lot different. It's not like the old days no more. Times are a lot different now. It's crazy. Times are a lot different. It's strange though. I don't honestly know how to feel about it. I guess I ain't got no way to feel about it because it ain't happened to me. But that don't mean I shouldn't ignore it. But like I say, I feel like business is business. And Jimmy Kimmel know that too. Business is business. He done seen multiple people get their stuff snatched away, so I guess he just getting a taste of that now. And hopefully he learns from this, and hopefully he doesn't give up though, because I think Jimmy Kimmel is very talented. I think he has something. You know what I'm saying? He has something. And I think he should keep going. I think he should come over here to YouTube. He should start immediately. If Jimmy Kimmel made a YouTube tonight and just went live, he would do numbers. And he would make so much money. But a lot of people don't have the courage to do it that soon. I think he should. And I think he should come over here talking about the same stuff he was talking about on air. He doesn't have to have a big production or a big publication to be behind him to be able to do that. You don't need that over here. And as long as he keeps it clean, YouTube will allow it. I can guarantee YouTube will allow it. I can guarantee they will allow him to come over here and do it. If they have a problem with it, go to Twitch. This for me to you, Jimmy Kimmel. Don't give up. Don't allow this to set you back. Just learn from it and keep growing. You never stop growing unless you stop it. Nobody can take away from what was, because it's in you. It ain't on you. You did what you did from out your heart, but I honestly feel like they probably did set you up, Brody. They set you up because I know they have to know what you're going to go on TV and say. You ain't just coming off the top of your head with it. Unless you done got that much control because you've been doing it for so long, so they like, he good, he can go do this. Because, wow. I feel like they had to know what this man was going to go on TV and say. And to let him go on there and then ruin the show, they probably did have low ratings. And they probably was tired of him. And they was like, oh, we got to get out of this contract some type of way. He's showing up. He producing the content. He probably doing cool numbers, but he probably ain't doing what they want him to do. This is my speculation. I don't have any facts on this. I haven't done any research. All I did was ask Alexa a couple of questions, and she gave me a couple of details that really didn't help me get the knowledge of how well or bad the show was doing. So I can't really say that. I don't have the charts in the setup. I can go look through my chat GPT maybe to see how the show is doing, but I don't really want to do that. So yeah. Got a comp call down there. This is a video saying why Jimmy Kimmel's on-air show was a long time coming.
But first tonight, we do have major breaking news to bring you. ABC is pulling Jimmy Kimmel off the air indefinitely over his controversial comments about Charlie Kirk's assassination. ABC's decision came after Nextstar and soon to be announced Sinclair would be announcing that they would stop airing Kimmel's program. That's a big chunk of Kimmel stations around the country. Earlier today, the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, who will join us in a moment, threatened action against Disney and ABC over this comment that Kimmel made on Monday, labeling the alleged Charlie Kirk assassin as a MAGA. Take a look.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Not funny and fake news. Sadly, this was not the only vile comment about the Charlie Kirk assassination. On Monday night, Kimmel made this disgusting remark about President Trump's grief over the assassination. Take a look.
This is not how an adult grieves the murder of somebody he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Now, remember, I have been calling out Jimmy Kimmel's reprehensible comments and dialogue for years now. You know, like this one. They made mocking the First Lady, who speaks 6 languages, Melania Trump in 2018. You might recall. Take a look.
I want to really thank the First Lady, Melania, who has done an incredible job. She worked so hard on this event, and so I want to thank you.
Not a chance she did one thing to help Seth out of there. No. She didn't die egg, she didn't feel bad. The only thing she's been working on is an escape tunnel. No White House Easter celebration would be complete without story time from our First Lady.
Never stop exploring, because life would be boring. Be clever and curious, just like a cat. Ask lots of questions about this and that.
About these and that.
Kimmel's recent vile remarks about Charlie Kirk's assassination should come as no surprise, given his lengthy history of mocking conservatives, Republicans, never-ending Trump bashing, which is why his ratings suck. Take a look.
We definitely know who wins Time's Sexiest Alleged Murderer of the Year. That would go to Luigi Mangione, the suspect in the shooting of the CEO of United Healthcare, who's become the hottest cold-blooded killer in America. Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go. For healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, and it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet. Tesla stock is way down, almost disastrously so. People vandalizing Tesla vehicles, new Tesla vehicles. Please don't vandalize. Don't ever vandalize Tesla vehicles. And so, Elon Musk has been making the rounds in the right-wing media to try to appear to be a human being.
Wow. He said a lot, guys.
He's like Dracula. He's going to keep sucking the life out of us forever.
How do y'all feel about that? Do you still feel like he didn't say too much? How do y'all feel? I don't know why, but I still feel like he didn't say too harsh or nothing. I feel like they've been doing stuff to him too. Who knows all the like strong arm moves they've been doing all in the background. But it's still too. And if you put yourself out there and you want to rumble with the big boys, you got to be ready to accept what come with it. So I don't know. I just feel like I feel bad for Jimmy Kimmel because I don't want him to struggle, you know. That ain't cool. Especially it's going to mess with his money. He got to feed his family. I don't wish that on nobody, y'all. I wish him the best. I really feel bad for what's going on. I really do. But I do feel like he need to watch his mouth too. Because he got to know and understand what he signed up for. You know what I'm saying? But still, keep going, Jimmy Kimmel. Don't stop, you know. Don't give up. This is just one thing that's happening. Just because you can't be on syndicated TV anymore doesn't mean that you have to stop. Don't stop. Go to streaming now. Streaming is doing better than TV anyway. Stream. Come on YouTube. Come over here, Jimmy Kimmel. If you come to YouTube, I think you would do great. Come to YouTube, Jimmy Kimmel. Cut out the nasty skits. Stop talking about certain things. Change up the material a little bit and come to YouTube. Tell us stories about the industry. Come talk about the industry and spill all the beans over here, Jimmy Kimmel. I guarantee, Jimmy Kimmel, if you come and go live on YouTube tonight, right now, I'm talking about right now, Jimmy Kimmel. If you come live right now on YouTube tonight, Jimmy Kimmel, I'm talking right directly to you. You will do numbers. You will do numbers if you come over here on YouTube. I guarantee they're going to show you love over here. Don't give up. This is just a stepping stone. You need to learn from your mistakes, Jimmy Kimmel. You need to apologize. I think you should get on your YouTube or make a new YouTube if they got control of that. Make a new YouTube. If they own your Instagram too, make a new Instagram. You're Jimmy Kimmel. You still have the face. So you can do it. You can make it happen. If you have the face of Jimmy Kimmel, that's what I'm telling you. They can't make another one. They can make another you in the sense, like put another person in your spot, in your slot. Yeah, but they can't make another Jimmy Kimmel. If you want to keep going, you can keep going. Just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too hard on yourself. Love yourself. You're still human. And just understand that it didn't work out. And that's okay. That's okay, Jimmy Kimmel. You're not a bad person. Nobody hates you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody hates you. I'm sending love to you, though, brother. I hope everything is good. I'm coming from a real place, too. I really, really mean this. Like, I hope you good, man. Because that's a lot to go through. When you've been doing this for all the years, I can just feel and I can understand like how a person would probably feel after giving these people 20-something years of your life. Being dedicated. And y'all know how that TV stuff works. You can barely even miss a day. You have to show up all the time. You have to be there. It takes a certain type of specific person to be in the limelight and to work those gigs. It's not as easy as it looks. I'm telling you, it's not as easy as it looks. You have to work. You have to be there. You have to have the personality every day, even on those days where you're not feeling it. You have to be there and feel that, and you have to give that energy. So for somebody who's able to do it, I applaud them. With that being said, I feel bad that Jimmy Kimmel went through what he went through, but hopefully he learns from this. And like I said, don't give up. Jimmy Kimmel was not funny at all. So Nick says Jimmy Kimmel was not funny. We already finished talking about what happened, Jimmy Kimmel. Nick. Basically, we're wrapping it up right now. And basically, I was saying in the end of the video, just saying that even though, that happened for Jimmy Kimmel, he can still keep going. And you have the right to have your opinion to say that Jimmy Kimmel was not funny. That's how you feel, that's how you feel. I'm not here to persuade you to feel any type of way. I was not like the largest fan of Jimmy Kimmel, but I have requested, I'm realistic. I have requested tickets to go to his show. I just never were able to receive any. I don't think I met the demographic of who he wanted on his show. I never were able to receive tickets for Jimmy Kimmel's show, but when I requested everybody else's show, I was able to get tickets. I was able to get tickets to Kelly Clarkson. I was able to get tickets to Jennifer Hudson. I was able to get tickets to what was that show with Chance the Rapper on there? And Reba when she came out? The Voice. I was able to get tickets to many shows, but I could never get tickets to Jimmy Kimmel's show. So I never really cared much about Jimmy Kimmel either. But I still want to say that I don't have to spread hate about somebody because, I just don't do that. That's just not how I am. When I come on here, if I'm talking about something, I'm just going to give it to y'all as it is, and I'm not too much going to add too much of my opinion to it. I'll break the story down and then bring many different concepts together, but I don't ever want to just put my opinion on nothing because that just ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. It ain't that deep for me to try to pin it on nobody or make nobody look bad, regardless of what they did. I hope that he understands that what he said was offensive, and in a sense of business, it is what it is. Business is business. These people are allowed to make decisions on how they feel, regardless of what the public feels is wrong or right. Get from over here. We don't have to say so to tell these people how they can run their publications or what they should and should not allow. If they feel like what he did was wrong, what he did was wrong. And it is what it is. But still too, I don't feel like the president should be able to use his manpowers against him. But at the same time, Jimmy Kimmel, you doing what you doing. It's like almost like you antagonizing. It is what it is. So that's why I just said I can't be on either side. Because I feel a lot of ways about both. But that's just my opinion. So I'd rather just state the facts of what it is, which is what they both said, and let y'all decide. That's why I don't want to have an opinion, because I'd be here every day, all damn day, keep switching my story, oh this, oh that, because it's a lot to boggle down. That's why you'd rather not even try to get to what the cause of it is and just produce what happened. And it is what it is. Whatever your interpretation of it is, it's truth. Everybody is the truth. Whatever you feel about it is true. It is what it is. If you feel like it happened that way, that's what happened. Because that's your point of view. And you should not let nobody mess up what you feel. Not even me. You don't let nobody try to persuade you to feel no other type of way. Stand on what you felt, like Jimmy Kimmel did. He stood on what he felt his entire season. That's what he felt. He didn't like Trump, and he stood on it. So I respect him for it. Trump didn't like Jimmy Kimmel, and Trump said that he was going to get him out of it. I respect Trump for holding his word as a man. Regardless of him being the president, they both stood on business. May the biggest man win. That ain't my fight. That ain't my fight. That's just what happened. Y'all just seen it. Y'all just seen that for yourself. So yeah, I don't know where we go from here. I don't know where we go. I'm gonna see if we're gonna look and see if they got one more update on here.
If you qualify for Medicare and Medi-Cal, Kaiser Permanente has a plan for you with extra perks, including a dedicated care coordinator. Visit kp.org/partner to see if you qualify. Kaiser Permanente.
Forget it. He's like Dracula. He's going to keep sucking the life out of us forever.
Now, President Trump, he did react to this news on Truth Social, writing in part, bold, great news for America. The ratings challenge, Jimmy Kimmel show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert. That's possible. Now, the left already, starting with Humpty Dumpty, fake news, CNN, J.D. Pritzker, Gavin Newsom, predictably claiming this is conservative censorship. The MAGA crowd, Donald Trump got Jimmy Kimmel. That is false. I can't find a single prominent conservative voice in the country that even remotely wanted or hoped.
Go back and watch the Charlotte situation, what Kimmel said and what Trump said.
Nobody, it just was simple. People changed the channel. They didn't watch it. Not one person can I think of. Maybe there's one, but I can't think of them. Now, truth be told, Jimmy Kimmel's show was failing spectacularly. I've seen the ratings. They're awful. His ratings are far below even that of Stephen Colbert, who was canceled. Now, why, you ask? This is supposed to be a late-night comedy show. It has become nothing more than nonstop, never-ending hate Donald Trump. That's the show. As a result, the ratings have been in the sewer. It has been spiraling downwards for years. And once the ratings go down, revenues go down as well. They go hand in hand. In other words, Jimmy Kimmel simply failed at his job. He lost his audience, then he lost revenue, and then stations, groups, they had enough after this comment, about a husband and father of two. They said enough's enough, low ratings, no money, what's the point? And that is the predictable outcome in television. There's no pressure group outside that was pushing for Jimmy Kimmel to be silenced. I'm sure he'll end up having a platform somewhere. He'll have a podcast. He'll be able to curse and everything.
That's what I say.
My understanding is most station groups were just fed up with this show. First, the TV group Nextstar, followed by the TV group Sinclair, telling Disney they don't want the show.
He said, bro, I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm sick of hearing about him 24/7. Like, can't they talk about something else? They let their TDS get to them.
Actually, it's a good show and funny, much funnier than Kimmel. Given Kimmel's disastrous ratings, history of crass commentary, lack of any humor, chasing away more than half the country, vile attacks on people he disagrees with politically, it's not a shock. He did this to himself. Nobody pushed, he jumped. And remember, this is Brendan Carr said to podcaster Benny Johnson.
I wonder, can they give me Jimmy Kimmel's show then and make it Trey Jones live?
Podcasters are entirely different than people who use
I'll do what y'all say. I ain't gonna be disrespectful. I'ma show up every day. Y'all ain't got to pay me in the millions like him. I'ma still live in the hood. I don't gotta go outside or nothing. I'ma still live in the hood. I'ma still keep my job. Y'all ain't gotta pay me much. Can y'all give me Jimmy Kimmel's job? You can keep the same script, the same everything. We don't even gotta remake the That'll make it fun. We can make it obvious that we keep the same set, all that. We can keep everything the same and just throw me in there. I can do it. I can read. I can do it. He said, you do a better job, bro. Look, give me the Jimmy Kimmel show. Y'all just cut it. I know y'all got to keep this rolling. Y'all got to make y'all money. Send it over here. My barber don't charge for $25. We got the lowest, and that's all I need is a barber. We ain't got to get my teeth fixed or nothing. We're going to have sympathy. They going to feel sorry for me. They ain't never seen nobody on TV with an overbite. I'm telling y'all, I'm the right person for the job. Give it to me. Trey Jones live. Run me on the TV. I'm going to do what y'all say. Whatever y'all tell me not to say, I'm not going to say it. And y'all can keep most of the money. Y'all can give me a regular budget. A regular, like $30,000. Y'all can give me $30,000 a year. Y'all can pay me like $20 an hour. And I'm going to come on now. But I got limitations too. Okay, so I'm only going to give y'all 3 seasons. I'm going to give y'all 3 seasons, and after 3 seasons, I walk away. I walk away after 3 seasons. Or we could do it better like this. Y'all can give me $25 an hour, and then after you give me or either $25 an hour or $175 a day. You can give me $175 a day for however long you keep me on the show. And then after that, y'all can keep all the rights to everything. Y'all can have all that shit. Y'all can even have the name Straight Jones TV Live. Y'all can have it all. Because I'm going to be the face. So I'll be able to use my face in this. I can create another name. And we can go on there and talk. Bitch, I'll change my name to Messy Marvin or some shit. It's so much I can do. You know what I'm saying? I'll be smart about the situation. See, people always think about money. I'm thinking about money too. But I'm thinking about longevity as well. I get the money in the long term. I don't care about the money right now. I work for a lower wage to get where I want to be. That's how I am. That's how I am. Because when I'm in that lower position, don't mean that I ain't listening to the highest talk. I'm going to listen to everything, and I'm going to gain as much knowledge as I can to be able to trigger my way through and win. You know what I'm saying? So give me the Jimmy Kimmel show. I'll show y'all how to work it. I'll show y'all how to get these ratings up. I'll show y'all how to compete with all these other people on TV at night. We'll get it juking up over there. Call me ABC. Call me Disney. Call me Nextstar. I'm just playing Jimmy Kimmel. I would never take your job.